Good afternoon. It's Debbie Leone, live on Facebook, obviously. Ask Coach Debbie. I'm going to start when I see the first person come on. So, first person, show up. There you are. Hi, Melanie. Hi. So last week I was running and it just came to me how the whole topic of leadership, because I teach leadership, fearless leadership, in fact, and I was reminded of how many people tell me that they're not leaders. You know, they use the phrase born leader, like some of us are born leaders, and it's an excuse. So many people, because of their past, because of their beliefs about themselves, feel like they are supposed to be a follower and not a leader. Hi, everybody. Hi, Adele. And it's not true, because if you have strengths, then you are a leader. And guess what? Everybody on this planet has strengths. Think about it. What you're good at is what you can lead at. So I'm busting you today to move through any excuse that you're living in that you're not a leader, because you are. And when you believe that you're not, sorry, I got to turn my phone off. When you believe that you're not going to live your purpose. You're not going to feel fully expressed. You're not going to feel like you have the meaning in your life that you want, because you're playing small. So my job as a coach is to teach. There's a piece of coaching that is teaching, but it's really about empowering you, empowering my clients to access the answers that you have inside of you, to help you to access your truth, because you all have it. It's like, I don't have all the truth in the world. I have what's true for me, and I share what's true for me into the world, living my Dharma, of course. So today I want you to begin to consider what your strengths are, first of all. And if you don't know what your strengths are, I'm going to guess that you do. You must know at least two of your strengths. If you don't know what your strengths are, just consider right now, what is it you most love? What are you most successful with? Because I'm going to tell you, whatever that is, you're using your strengths. And when you're using your strengths, guess what? You're being a leader. You're leading your own life. I love seeing who's here. So hi, everybody. I'm going to stop distracting myself and look at the chat, but so I can stay focused. Actually, today's topic, I'm going to share some personal stuff that I've never shared it publicly, and I know it's part of being a leader, to be vulnerable and to share my strengths, which is fearlessness and confidence. But before we do that, back on the topic of being a leader. For you to tell yourself that you're not a leader, or to deny yourself in any way to not lead your life to your fullest potential, is playing small. And when you play small, well, I mean, what does it result in? Tell me, you guys. Communication and being vulnerable. Yeah, for sure. I'm a great leader. Thank you. So what is it that has you play small? Consider that first. Let's get some answers. What has you denying yourself from showing up in the world at your fullest potential? What is the belief about yourself? Who are you blaming? What's the story around not showing up 100% as a powerful leader in your own life? Because when you live as a powerful leader in your own life, you obviously are going to impact everyone else, right? I said I wasn't going to look at this, but so the first step is really looking at what's stopping me from using my strengths at the next level that's going to make a bigger contribution to the world and have me feeling more expressed. Who do I need to be? So consider that. Might it be the excuse that so-and-so is better than me, or I was told in my past that I'm not capable of being a leader. Perhaps when you were a kid, you were the last one to be picked on a team, so you decided that you have to be a follower the rest of your life. So it's really important that you're able to understand yourself and why you're not allowing yourself to be that badass leader. And once you get that, then you can shift your perspective. You can begin to change your thoughts around, you know what, that's not true. I am a good leader. So I would love to hear some of your beliefs around why you think you aren't a leader or are not capable of being the leader that you want, because again, it's not true. And so here's what we do. I know I did it for many years. We project all those qualities that we think we need to embrace to be a leader. We project them on other people who we think we can never be like. So for example, I used to project big time on my teacher, Debbie Ford, who was awesome. I looked up to her. I projected my light onto her. I thought, God, I can never be like her. I could never teach. I could never be in front of a group. I don't have enough wisdom to share to the world. So I lived in that smallness. And I played small for many years until I remember one day she said to me, she's like, Debbie, you are a coach. She pointed her finger at me like, oh my God, I got her blessings. And so it took that and then the work that she taught me around shadow work, realizing that the qualities that she has are in me as well. I just have to learn how to develop those qualities, access them, and embrace them and behave from that place. And that when I really got that on a really powerful internal level, I began to start doing my group work. I created Fearless Living. I wrote my book. I'm doing what I'm doing. And so had I not taken back my light from Debbie, if I continue to project that, oh, I can't do what she's doing, I'm not as good as her, I wouldn't be right here today sharing my stuff with you. So I want you to consider that. The first step, identifying what's the story around feeling like I can't be a leader. The second step is, who am I projecting onto? Who do I think I can't be like? Because guess what? That person in your life, whether they're from the past or the present, it could be somebody you never even knew, like Jesus or Buddha. That person who you think you could never be like is your greatest teacher right now. They're there to show you the qualities that are inside of you that need to be invoked. Those are your archetypes. Archetypes are the archetype work is powerful stuff. So let's consider this right now. So just take a moment right now. I get so excited that I talk fast. Consider right now who in your life, who do you know? Maybe you don't know them, but you know of them. Maybe it's a spiritual figure. Maybe it's a politician. I doubt it. Maybe it's a teacher. Maybe it's a parent. Who in your life do you most look up to and think, oh, I wish I could be like them? Consider that. Maybe consider 3 people. Write them down. And then when you get their names, write down, at least, you don't have to do it now, but begin to consider it. Begin to consider what qualities those people represent that you think you don't have. So I'm working with a client right now, actually, who we did some sessions on archetypes, and she got that she's projecting her light, or her archetype, the person who she thinks she can never be like, is Oprah. And I think so many of us can identify with Oprah as an archetype because she's such a huge contributor and she shows up in the world and she's sharing her pain with the world. So she got to see that she needs to take back the light that she's putting on Oprah and claim it. So we talked about what qualities is it in Oprah that you want to embrace and be more of so that you can be a leader. And she made a list of those qualities, and so the moral to the story is she's kicking butt now. The stuff that she's doing, because every time we meet now in our sessions, I'll ask her, how often did you channel Oprah this week? And then she shares with me what she did. And that shift in perception, taking back that light, allows you to, you take back the light, and there's no other place it can go to than outside, inside of you and outside of you, into the world. And from that space, you become a leader. So, I'm going to share, I like to share stories of who's stepping into share stories of my topics so that can help you to understand. So I'm going to read off some texting that I did today with someone who I see as, who's incredibly close to my heart. and who is stepping into his leadership abilities in a way that I always hoped for. And this is my son, Jim. The three strengths that I see in him, I hope you see these too, Jim. He's incredibly smart. He's incredibly resourceful. And he's incredibly strong-willed. He's been like that his whole life. Like if he wants to make something happen, he'll make it happen because he's so strong-willed. However, up till a short time ago, he hasn't been really, well, he has been using those strengths in ways that did not serve him. So Jim has struggled with addiction for many, many years, and I get emotional talking about this, but my point is that he is now choosing to take back all the qualities of those who he believes as his archetypes and models, and he's kicking ass. So today I sent him a text because I knew he was hurting for money. He's in a transitional housing. I sent him some money for his rent, and he thanked me. He said, "Thank you. Are you sure that's okay, Mom? Thank you so much." Now, if you knew Jim in from the past, you would get this more, but for him to thank me in that way is it's awesome. It's miraculous. He just said, "I was wondering how I was going to get a pair of shoes. I also got a flat tire yesterday." He rides his bike back and forth to work. That's his only form of transportation. "I also got a flat tire yesterday and walked like 3 miles with a 50-pound backpack full of almond milk and groceries." So he was very grateful. But what's amazing me is that he's now showing up as a leader amongst those he's living with and in his whole recovery. Let me find what he said. "I have enough food to last me a couple weeks. I'm good." He said, "We have a guy here that has like 4 or 5 weeks clean, came from an inpatient hospital. I was talking to him last night, and it really made me realize how much I have taken things for granted, the recovery home I was at, and how much I have to offer people with the information I have. Like I forget how little everyone knows about addiction and how AA doesn't always merely make sense to a lot of people. But now I'm getting that you guys spent thousands of dollars on me before that. You spent money on me and my insurance, and nothing made sense until now." So he's in a place that he's never been in before, and I can't describe how much it warms my heart, how close to my heart it is. But my message and to you about this story is that he's owning his light. He's owning his light. And look at how it's impacting me, right? So that's the point. When you take back your light, when you allow yourself to lead your life fearlessly, like he's having to bust through his fears, you're going to impact people in ways that you never imagined. And that's happening right now in this moment. And is he doing it to impact me like this? No, he's doing it because he's smart and he's resourceful and he's strong-willed. And now that I'm crying, my eye's burning. So please comment while I'm trying to fix my eye. Oh, I hope I don't have to cut this short. Oh, talk about being vulnerable. Hold on, you guys. I'll be right back. So, okay, I'm back. I'm better. This is just one small example of what happens when you claim who you are and move through your fears. So he's now getting, my son Jim is now getting that I told him in our text, I said, you are going to be one badass sponsor. And he now knows that he has a voice that he's sharing with me. And I know he's going to be sharing it on a grander scale with the world. And so I asked him after this text, I asked him just before I came on, is it okay if I talk about you today? And he's like, that's fine, Mom. And so I feel like he is using his voice right now through me. This is where the miracles happen, when you stop playing small. And I'm not saying you're all playing small, but consider any area of your life where you feel like you are. Notice, consider who in your life you want to be more like. Consider the qualities that they represent, because you get to invoke those qualities into your life and make a difference. And it seems like first and foremost, the people that you make a difference to are those that you're closest to. So that's my spiel on, I was going to talk more about, let's see, my chapter in my book about being a leader, fearless leadership, but it didn't go that way today. So thank you for sharing. You're welcome. So I have to say, thanks, Christine. This is the first time that I publicly talked about Jim and I haven't talked about it for fear that he wouldn't want me to, fear that of exposure, that I'll be judged, that he'll be judged. And you know what? It's all okay, because my pain and my suffering and his pain and his suffering are now being turned into gifts to support you and everyone else in the world that I can support and that he will. I just have to say how incredibly proud I am of him. Because there were many, many, many nights that I laid awake in the middle of the night wondering if he was alive. Okay, so this is Ask Coach Debbie. So the only question I have this week from one of my clients is that she's struggling with achieving ideal weight and is just starting on this journey of personal growth and internal work. And because what I do with my plus clients as well as my other clients is help them to really address the emotional component of eating. Like, that's what coaching is. I help you to address the emotional component of life. Because if you don't, you're going to repeat the same old patterns. This is totally my most vulnerable video. Anyway, okay, where was I? So I was, she said, well, how do, so I asked her, I said, so what did you have for dinner last night? And she said, I had a bowl of ice cream. And I said, so what had you eat a bowl of ice cream last night, instead of making healthy choices? And she said, I don't even know. I don't know. I just did. I just had a bowl of ice cream. So that's it, and right there, you guys. If the work is, you're going to continue to create the same patterns. You're not going to be able to achieve and maintain ideal weight if you first don't learn how to stop and understand what's driving you to make those choices. Like, she had no idea. She said she just said, it's just a pattern. That's just what I do. So we did some deep work around this, and she got to see that the excuses, the dialogue, the monkey mind, the stuff that was going on in her head that she was really not conscious of. It was just an unconscious behavior. And that behavior continues over and over forever until you stop. So I had her stop. And we just did a bit of a reflection around, so what were the thoughts going on? And she got to see that. I'm too tired to cook. I want to feel good right now. She was understanding why she made those choices, and she thought, wow. She was amazed. It was like an aha moment. And then once she got that understanding, we went even deeper. And I said, so how did that make you feel? How did it make you feel after you had that ice cream? And she said, oh, I felt guilty. And I forget the other word she said. So she got to understand that the guilt really is driving her to make unhealthy choices. So the answer to how do I change my patterns? You've got to be able to stop before you put anything into your mouth and understand why you're putting it into your mouth, because 9 times out of 10, it's not because you're truly hungry. So I hope that helps for any of you who are struggling with eating and wanting to bust through that. It's, you know what, it's an inside job. Yes, you need to take external actions and eat healthy and exercise and do all the right things. But if that's not partnered with the internal work, you're not going to sustain it. Okay, so anyone have any questions? Thanks, Adele. This was an emotional live video, but I feel really good that I've broken through my fear around sharing my story with the world about my beautiful son and his challenges with addiction. I hate addiction. I love addicts. They're beautiful and they're leaders. And I will do anything I can to support you and anyone who struggles with any addiction, to help you to lead your life, because you are creating a ripple effect today and every day that you take steps towards being fearless and realizing that you are a leader. So if you still feel like you're not, message me so I can be all over you. All right? So have a great week. Anybody want to say anything before we end? Hi, Mike. Oh, I love doing these things, seeing all these amazing, beautiful people, all these amazing, beautiful leaders. So I'll leave you with a question to consider this week and to act on it today. The question is, what quality do I most need to cultivate to lead my life at the next level of leadership? Just consider that and let me know what that is. Don't be afraid of me. I'm all about fearlessness. I have a fear that people are afraid of me. So don't be afraid. I'm here to just love on you. All right? Have a great week. Talk to you next week. Bye.